Before we get into the video, I just want to say please like and subscribe. The latest video has been doing really well, but I just love if the people watching could subscribe. Doesn't cost anything, but if you do love the content, please subscribe. Road to 50 subs hopefully soon, and yeah, onto the video. Well, Chelsea's pre-season draw with Brighton and against Chelsea ended the same as it did in January away at the Amex, but luckily there was no Johan Batch doing an overhead kick. This time it was a penalty that split the points, but there's no points because it's pre-season friendly. One thing I would say before we start is that hopefully in 2 weeks time the outcome is very different, but you know, I just gotta say, if the second half didn't happen, how much more gassed I'd be in this. I know it's pre-season friendly, but a win would have been nice, but a draw, I don't really care, because as a Chelsea fan, what we've seen in the first 45 minutes is very encouraging. Now, because there are about 22 players who played for Chelsea, I'm not going to do a rating for every single one. I'm going to keep it positive this video with just highlighting the good players, giving them starting off with, of course, the goal scorer, Timo Werner. What a player, is what to say. Basically, just to summarise him, he's playing striker, but he worked so hard, and you could see him running around the pitch trying to get the loose balls everywhere. It's just, I don't know, one word for this Chelsea team is exciting, and he took his goal well. It only took him 207 seconds in a Chelsea shirt to score, and along with that, his work rate was impeccable, passing, he didn't put a foot wrong, and very exciting to see. So for Timo Werner, I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. The only reason he's not getting a 10 out of 10 is because he didn't play the full match, and, you know, could have scored more goals, but you can't argue with that. Moving on to the second signing, Hakim Ziyech. Now, it's a bit different. I think he didn't play as well as Timo Werner, but, I mean, it doesn't take a genius to work out what he was going to do. His wonderful left foot, whipping in a ball in the 4th minute to Hudson-Odoi, who, you know, what an assist from Hudson-Odoi. He definitely meant that to obviously finish off by Timo Werner. The one thing I'd say, he was giving away a bit of fouls, a lot of niggly fouls here and there, but apart from that, him spraying the ball to Hudson-Odoi with his left foot, and the whip was lovely. So for me, he's going to get a 7 out of 10. And we're moving on to the third piece of the triad, front three, Callum Hudson-Odoi. Now obviously, Callum Hudson-Odoi has been not his best this season with injury and allegations and with all that, but today and against Bayern he's proved us wrong, because I think he was back to his best. I'd say a couple shots here and there, dribbling, passing, just very good, so he's getting a 7 out of 10. So yeah, that's the front three. It didn't really take a genius to work out they were starting, but as I said in the preview, that was the thing to look forward to, and this team without Pulisic or Havertz and Mount looking very good. Now moving into the midfield two, I'd like to say Kante. What more to say? Intercepted it, mate. Completed it, mate. Bringing it back to vintage Kante. Now again with Callum Hudson-Odoi and Kante. Kante last season was good, but wasn't at his best. But I think just a little glimmer today of him winning the ball, vintage Kante, is what you love to see. So obviously Kante is going to get an 8 out of 10. With his partner Kovacic, mate, Kova just doing Kova things. Like, you don't really expect anything else. There's a reason why he's our player of the season. His dribbling, his passing, his intercepting is what Kovacic does, and for £50 million, what a bargain. So again, Kova is getting an 8 out of 10. And obviously, I'm not going to go for everyone, but to finish it off, Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Now, again, wasn't his best game, but what I highlighted is he needs more game under his belt. More game time will just make him more confident, because he lacked confidence, but apart from that, he was bitching people left, right and centre. Good passes, so unfortunately it's a 6 out of 10, but very good Ruben. And I'm only going to do one more person, because the person in defence that stood out to me the most was Reese James. He's got it all. He's got the brick shithouse-like stature, the crossing, just the pace, and that whip, the little dig into the floor. It's just very nice to see. He had the shot early in the 30 seconds, which I thought was going to go in, but mate, an 8 out of 10 from him. He barely put a foot wrong, and just with Tariq Lamptey, he defended him well. Now, on to the overall match. I'm not going to rate anyone else, but I would like to give a little shout out to Conor Gallagher. What a player he is at age 19, I think. He's a mini Kante. I've got a little confession. I went to a lot of Charlton games early in the season when Conor Gallagher was playing, and again, like, I expected the same thing. I knew what he was about. Just his work rate, bulldog like Timo Werner, going up and down, intercepting the ball. It's just very, very exciting. And again, I think a loan move in a either high Premier League Championship club or a low Premier League club would do him good. But I mean, he could even slot into this Chelsea team right now because he was playing very well. Rudiger. Unlike Timo, who scored in the 4th minute of the first half, in the 4th minute of the second half, Rudiger gave away a sloppy foul. Luckily, it was saved by Big Willie, and unfortunately couldn't reciprocate that in the second penalty, which, you know, was pretty unsavable. So Ampadu, I was expecting big things. He was doing okay, but apart, if you're giving away a penalty, like, pre-season you're supposed to show us what you've got, and just giving away a penalty isn't a great start. But unfortunately, from Ampadu, it's not great. But again, I'm just going to focus on the first 45 minutes, which was absolutely insane from Chelsea, like, getting me excited. And if we won right now, I'd be shouting everyone's praises, but you've got to bring it down. And also, got to say thanks to Brighton, not only for giving us the camera footage, but also for, you know, putting on a good, well, like 2,500 players allowed, a good pilot for the government. I mean, although they had 2,500, they didn't have a lot of shout about in the first 45 minutes, but, you know, enough about that said, the better. So that's been me, Cam, from Cam's Cobham. Thank you for the support in the last video. I'd just love to get 50 subs very soon. Thank you for watching. See you next video.